This is CBC Here and Now.
We are leaving behind the Victorian institutional model of psychiatric care.
Government's new plan to modernize mental health care.
Treat people nearer to home where they have the support of their families.
The revenues are a lot lower, significantly lower than what they were previously planned.
But Moody's maintains the province's current credit rating.
Catch and release could be bad for business.
We look at losing approximately 90% of our business, $230,000, $270,000 in sales.
Well, as this guy hops into town, we will have a couple of systems hopping into the province that will be impacting us with some rain and snow. I'll break down the forecast details coming up.
Good evening. Government has revealed its plan for a radical overhaul of the way mental health and addiction services will be provided.
It involves a new, smaller hospital to replace the Waterford and a significant increase in community-based services throughout the province. Here and Now's Terry Roberts reports.
We are leaving behind the Victorian institutional model of psychiatric care, symbolized by the Waterford Hospital.
Welcome news for the people in this crowd.
And I thank you all today for the message that I must hide no longer.
I think it's a really positive day, and I think that there's so much excitement.
Here's what's going to happen. Government is going to build a new 94-bed mental health and addictions hospital right here attached to the Health Sciences Centre. Government will also fund nearly 200 community-based beds all across the province, bringing those services to the people that need them and outside of institutional walls like these.
This is not the first plan to replace the Waterford, a crumbling psychiatric hospital that opened in 1855. But this strategy is different, blending institutional care with community care.
If you move things out into the community, treat people nearer to home where they have the support of their families and their friends, the results are so much better, so much quicker.
For the first time in their lives, they are part of our health care system. Physical health and mental health is one and the same.
It's an expensive plan. A new hospital will cost at least $200 million. There's also plans for a new parking garage, room for at least 500 cars. And the Agnes Cowan Hostel behind me, well, it's coming down and will be replaced at a cost of about $25 million.
Next month, the province decides whether it will use a public-private partnership to build the new hospital. Site work begins in 2019 and construction will last 3 or 4 years.
We are not here to make an announcement that we are not going to deliver on. This hospital will be built.
Where the community-based mental health and addictions beds will be located and who will operate them is yet to be determined. There's also no price tag, but the province says the money is there.
There is money in the fiscal forecast that was allocated for a much larger facility. So we actually have capital money in the bank that we can divert for that.
The Waterford will remain open until its replacement is built and the community beds are in place. Terry Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.
So how does the old plan compare to the new? Well, here are some of the numbers. The previous plan to build a new facility on the current Waterford Hospital site included 140 beds, a 33,000 square meter building at a cost of about $330 million. Now, the new plan involves tearing down the Agnes Cowan Hostel at the Health Sciences Centre and building a new facility. It will have fewer beds, 94, be about half the size at 15,000 square meters and cost about $200 million, $130 million less than the old plan. But the plan is to offer more beds off-site and around the province, 182 beds in total, 32 for crisis situations, 150 located in supportive housing. And where does that supportive housing come from? Well, government plans to team up with community organizations, groups that specialize in addictions treatment, mental health services, and already offer housing to people in need. The details of exactly how that partnership will work and how much it will cost are unclear, but these groups are on board with the idea.
We're on the ground, we're close to communities. Community agencies are used to being very flexible, very adaptable, and what that means is we can make sure that we're providing the services, to meet the needs that are out there.
We know taking people out of their communities and away from their support networks is really not best practice. So this provides a new opportunity, less beds at the Waterford, but more community supports. We'll see how it all rolls out, but that is probably the better way to be moving forward.
What I heard today was all about housing first. We have lots of experience and expertise in that area with our 79 units of housing already. Interesting to see what are the resources that come to the community sector to support these services that people reference in the community.
Gathering Place is going to stay at the table. We're going to continue the conversations, but we are cautiously optimistic.
And cautiously optimistic was a popular line in that room today, but there was also a lot of hope. Coming up, we'll get reaction from someone who lives with mental illness and now uses her experience to help others.
Salmon anglers aren't the only ones anxiously waiting to find out what this year's season holds. DFO should decide soon whether you can keep certain size salmon or whether it's just hook and release. If it is the latter, some small businesses fear they'll go the way the salmon population has. Here Now's Colleen Connors explains.
Gary Warren has a shop stocked with rods, waders, and flies, but very few customers. If this is another hook and release salmon season, Warren could close shop.
We look at losing approximately 90% of our business if there's only catch and release, and that in dollar value you're looking at between $230,000 to $270,000 in sales.
Warren says anglers won't purchase flies, ties, and expensive rods if they can't take their catch home. At the end of last season, when salmon numbers were low, DFO said anglers had to return whatever they caught to the river. Warren saw a drop in sales, and he says if that trend continues, his livelihood is in trouble.
If they're going to have the catch and release only in the future, give consumers and businesses adequate time to prepare for it. I mean, you're talking about a lot of dollars and a lot of workers, a lot of people involved in this.
This business could lose 2 employees and a lot of extra stock because gear is ordered months in advance. Even the local fly makers will lose money.
And we have people who tie flies year-round to supply us. Those people, they're going to be out of work, out of income. So it trickles down to a lot of people.
To avoid losing the salmon fishing industry, the province suggests a retention season, with tags spread out over the busy summer months, along with in-season reviews. DFO says it has to consider science advice and fishery policies before it can make the final call. Well, DFO says that they will hopefully make a decision on the upcoming angling season sometime in May. For now, business owners like Warren will have to wait and see what the future holds. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Corner Brook.
In Labrador City, unionized workers remain on the picket lines outside the IOC site. The head of the United Steelworkers Union says he's still waiting for word from the IOC, and the longer it takes, the worse it gets. Ron Thomas says some have lost drug coverage due to expired health plans. In addition to higher pay and pension contributions, the union is pushing for improved health benefits. They're also advocating for temporary workers who, if employed, will work side by side with unionized workers but not receive the same pay or coverage.
The company that owns the Marystown shipyard says it is committed to selling the property, and it is being courted by multiple potential buyers. Kiewit is under fire because a deal to sell the dormant shipyard has fallen through. St. John's businessman Paul Antle was poised to buy it, but he says he submitted a revised offer when his company realized the property needed more work than expected. Kiewit rejected the new proposal, drawing criticism from the Liberal MHA, who says that leaves hundreds of jobs in jeopardy. But Kiewit says Antle's new offer came in at less than 10% of his previous offer. The company won't get into who else is offering to buy the shipyard.
A 54-year-old man has died from injuries after a snowmobile crash in Happy Valley Goose Bay. RCMP officers were called to an accident on Churchill Street around 10:30 Wednesday night. He was driving his snowmobile on the side of the street when it flipped over. The RCMP say he wasn't wearing a helmet. The man was taken to the Labrador Grenfell Hospital, where he died shortly after. Well, a house in the east end of St. John's was extensively damaged by fire overnight. 5 people were inside, all managed to get out safely. The fire was reported around 2:30 a.m. Investigators were on the scene today, but the RNC says the fire doesn't appear suspicious.
Well, there's finally a date in sight for Costco's big move from the east end of St. John's to Galway. But not everyone is happy about or ready for the move just yet. Here now's Andrew Sampson has that story.
In the always busy parking lot at Costco, it's business as usual. Shoppers from across the city and all of the island are stocking up for Easter weekend. But next Easter, they'll have to do their shopping at Costco far away from here in the West End.
It doesn't really bother me that much, to be honest. We're only down here a couple of times a year, if that. So the move doesn't really bother me. I'm in Mount Pearl, so I'm kind of central.
For some people that's no big deal, but for others it's going to make a big difference. Not just for groceries, but at the gas bar.
Right now it's pretty competitive fare, but I guess if the gas station moves out, everything will go up here, like on the other side of town.
Carol says higher gas in her area is something that will limit her time on the road. But Danny Williams is bullish on the prospects of Costco kickstarting what he hopes to be a booming business center in Galway. The new location is set to be much larger than the current site on Stavanger Drive.
If you go in, you could see the beehive of activity. You know, there's dozens of pieces of major heavy equipment in there. So all the site preparation now is actually being done, and then the building hopefully will start in May with completion in the early falls.
But we'll have to take Williams' word for it. Fog made sure that you couldn't really see anything today. He expects that by Halloween, this undeveloped land will be overrun by shoppers. Andrew Sampson, CBC News, St. John's.
Ryan's here, as you can see, with a weather update.
And it's going to be a great day tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's right. Better than that, where trying to see through the fog at times today was pretty thick. The rain at times heavy over the southern Avalon and the Burin, where we had some rainfall warnings issued, and some freezing rain on the go right now in St. John's. So all of that to contend with as we roll into the weekend, but a much better looking forecast for... Well, there's a couple of bunnies on the go. Last night we showed you this picture that Rob and Kathy Norman from Deer Lake snapped. Appears to be the Easter Bunny, but wait, Richard Sims says the Easter Bunny, he's up in Happy Valley Goose Bay scouting things out for this weekend. So whether your bunny is in Deer Lake or Happy Valley Goose Bay, either way, conditions are going to be improving for all of us tomorrow, and Friday is definitely one of the best days of the weekend. In fact, sun and cloud on the menu, bit of some lingering fog and perhaps a little bit of drizzle along the northeast coast, but overall pretty solid day shaping up on Friday across the island. Our next system will be tracking in for Friday evening into the overnight, and Saturday it's looking like we'll have some showers lingering for most of us, some lingering snow across Labrador. That system departs, and so some good news for those Easter bunnies is that by the time we get to Sunday, we're talking about a mix of sun and cloud on the menu once again, and a pretty nice day. A little cool with that northwesterly wind in for Sunday, so temperatures are going to be taking a bit of a hit, but it does look clear ahead of our next system, which will move in for Sunday night into Monday. The nitty-gritty details coming up with your full forecast in just a few minutes. Carolyn?
Thanks, Ryan. Well, it's the longest running fraud case in the province's history, and there's still no final decision on whether or not it will go to trial. Here now's Glenn Payette reports.
Lawyers for the Crown and defense were back in Supreme Court in St. John's today for the continuation of the Hickman Equipment saga. It started with a fraud investigation 16 years ago. But it wasn't until 2012 that the general manager, a vice president, the chief financial officer, and the sales manager were charged with fraud-related offenses totaling about $100 million. The case was supposed to go to trial in January of 2015. But in St. John's, lawyers for the men successfully argued that delays in the case violated their charter rights. Then last year, the Supreme Court of Canada overturned that decision and ordered a new trial. Now the defense says the Jordan decision on getting matters through the court in a reasonable time should apply, and is again arguing that the men should not have to stand trial. The Crown says that Jordan doesn't apply when a new trial is ordered, and that delays were caused by the defense. The matter was heard today by Justice Deborah Paquette. She did not give a decision. But if she sides with the Crown, the case is slated to go to trial in September. Glenn Payette, CBC News, St. John's.
A local business has just purchased 3 former schools in St. John's from the English School District. Pennacon Realty was the top bidder for Bishop's College, Booth Memorial, and McPherson Elementary. The company says it is thrilled to get the buildings, but its development plans are not yet finalized.
Expenditures actually have to decrease every year 1.4% in order to get back to balance.
Moody's says there's more risk in this budget than in last year's.
We're going to take a closer look at the provincial budget now and see how the province's fiscal plan is being received in the financial world. Michael Yake is the Vice President of Moody's, which is one of the big 3 credit rating agencies. He's in our Toronto studio. So thanks very much, Michael, for being here.
My pleasure, thank you.
So, do you give this budget a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Well, in our language, we actually called it a credit negative budget. And there's a couple of elements that are behind that credit negative viewpoint. One is the fact that the path back to balance has become a little bit more complicated than what we envisioned in the past. And the second is the revenues are a lot lower, significantly lower than what they were previously planned as well, which simply puts more pressure on expenditure control to get back to balance. Those two elements combined makes us think that there's greater execution risk that the province won't be able to achieve its target balance by 22-23.
That sounds worrisome. Now, last year you and I spoke and you said expenditure control was going to be key going forward. All the spending cuts, though, do seem to be backloaded to 22-23 when government says they'll balance the books. Is that one of the concerns you have?
Absolutely, and what we've seen is, we were always concerned that the expenditure would have to be flat in the last 3 or 4 years of the budget's plan. And what we're seeing now, because of the increase in expenditures this year in 18-19, expenditures actually have to decrease every year 1.4% in order to get back to balance. So that's true austerity. It's a difference between keeping expenditures flat, which the previous plan had, and true austerity where there's declines in expenditure every year, something that we really haven't seen any province in Canada succeed successfully over the past 15 years.
Now, government does say it is relying on attrition, finding efficiencies, and $63 oil to help balance the books. How realistic do you think that is?
There is the possibility, and that's why we simply call this budget a credit negative. We still have our rating at AA3 with a negative outlook, but we simply want to highlight the fact that there is greater pressure. On the expenditure side, there is the possibility, I believe the finance minister did talk about the fact there's 5,000 public sector employees who will retire or could retire within the next few years. There's always the possibility to have savings there. And then with the price of oil, as you mentioned, at $63 currently in the forecast, that's within our range as well. So the assumptions aren't too far off, but really it's the details and as I mentioned before, the fact that expenses have to decline for across several years in a row, which we just haven't seen before. And even in Newfoundland and Labrador itself, we've seen perhaps 1 year of expense decline followed by growth, followed by a decline, but we haven't seen consecutive years of decline. And that's where the execution risk comes into play.
Now, there were no major layoffs, no program cuts in this budget. Are you saying they should have gone after those?
Not necessarily, no. And we do realize that over the past couple of years, the government has already made good inroads into its deficit. The deficit in 2015-16 was 37% of its revenue. In 17-18, it's going to come in at 11% of revenue. So the government has made good strides. What we're seeing, though, with this budget plan is that the pace of deficit reduction over the next 2-3 years is going to really stabilize at about 8.9, 8.7% of revenue. How the province, gets back to balance, that's not for us to decide. We just simply look at what they propose and to see if the measures are realistic or not, or potentially too ambitious.
Finance Minister Tom Osborne says his underlying goal here is to manage through this tough phase. You're not convinced with that approach?
Well, it's definitely a tough phase. As I said, the key for us is the expenditure control. But the other surprise that we're looking at now is the fact that revenues have come down, or the revenue profile for the next few years is much lower than what it was in the past. The finance minister highlighted the fact that this is due to the volatility in the price of oil, but at the same time trying to stress that the province is less reliant on oil. If the revenues are falling compared to where they were in the past, but the province doesn't have the means to offset that through other measures, that's where that negative aspect comes into play as well. There's less flexibility that the province can absorb or overcome potential negative shocks in the future.
And Michael, you said in comparison to other provinces, we're not holding up very well.
Well, it's not a question of that. It's just simply the question that the province is facing significant deficits right now. Other provinces are getting closer back to balance. An 8%, a 9% deficit is quite large. But again, if we were to compare Newfoundland and Labrador with the other great oil-producing province, which is Alberta, we see the deficit reduction having been achieved at a much greater pace already in Newfoundland and Labrador than we've seen in Alberta. So it's hard to compare apples and apples, oranges and oranges all the time. But as I said, we do want to highlight the fact that we've seen improvement in Newfoundland and Labrador. It's just that the road ahead looks a little bit more challenging than what we saw in the past.
Michael Yake, thank you so much for joining us.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
We see a lot of curiosity.
Your seal is served, all part of Quebec's inaugural Seal Fest.
Welcome back, everyone.
And before we get to the weather, Ryan, looking
yes,
good.
Thank you, thank you.
You've
Getting
lost,
in the spirit.
You've lost your winter white coat,
That's
I see.
right. Yes, well, we do change colors, especially us weathermen.
Yeah. How about your little ones? Are they all ready for the big Easter egg hunt on Sunday?
Our oldest, again, 2.5, so he's kind of getting the sense that something's going on. He did love the Easter Bunny at the mall, just loved him. So, so I guess he's going to love this too. Yeah. So I went sniffing around today with that theme to find out if there are any public Easter egg hunts happening, and I did track down 2. And here's some information. So the here in St. John's, the Geo Center is holding its Easter egg extravaganza on Saturday. It runs from 10 until 2. And expect a special visit from the man of the hour himself.
And if you're in the CBS area, check out the Manuel's River Interpretation Center on Saturday for an Easter egg hunt along the river trails. It's happening between 10 and 4 p.m. and there is a 2:30 egg hunt that's especially designed for kids with mobility challenges as they'll search for eggs along the trailway outside the center.
Oh, nice. Sounds like a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And so if you are hopping in and out of the city right now, have a look at the webcam that you can see where it's cloudy skies right now in Whitburn. That rain starting to taper off. Temperatures near 2 degrees and again looking pretty smooth sailing here. You didn't think I was going to leave these on the entire time, did you? There's no way you could take me serious if I was wearing these the whole time. Now as we take a look, again, mainly cloudy skies right now, but the rain does continue along the southern Avalon, at times heavy, and in fact you see these pink colors. That's a little bit of freezing drizzle being reported at St. John's Airport right now and along that northeast Avalon, likely along the northwest Avalon as well. But again, starting to taper off as this system departs, and we are going to see some big improvements over the next few hours if you are hitting the roads here across eastern parts of Newfoundland. And that system clears out. We'll have a bit of a break in an area of high pressure, and then our next system will roll in as we roll into the later parts of tomorrow and tomorrow night especially. Here's how it all plays out. Timeline-wise, you can see that rain departing. Still a lingering chance of some drizzle along that northeast coast, especially tomorrow morning. Risk of some freezing drizzle where temperatures are at the freezing mark, which is most likely from Bonavista Bay through Gander towards the Grand Falls, Windsor area, including the Bay of Exploits. A pretty quiet start for the rest of us with temps around the freezing mark and around -4 to start your Saturday for you folks in Labrador. Note the winds will be a little on the breezy side to start tomorrow in the 50 to 60, maybe even some 70-kilometer-per-hour gusts right along that northeast coast. Winds will ease off and we'll see some sunny breaks breaking through as our first system moves out and our next system moves in. Between those two, we do have the potential for some sunny breaks for most of Newfoundland tomorrow. Now watch the timeline here. It looks like chances some late day showers for Port aux Basques, the Port-au-Port, and up towards the Corner Brook region. Temperatures should get to in the 3, 4, 5, 6 degree range. Even Gross more in chance of a late day shower. And that early morning drizzle chances for St. John's and Bonavista, and again then departing with temperatures warming up to around 2, 3 degrees. Should get to around 5 or 6. Places like Placentia Bay through Clarenville down towards Burgeo away from that northerly flow. Tomorrow, pretty quiet day along the coast of Labrador, and the snow will be tracking in from west to east for you folks across western parts of Labrador and into Happy Valley Goose Bay. Picking things up around 8, 9 p.m. tomorrow evening. You can see the snow underway in Labrador and the rain moving in across Newfoundland. And we are talking about showers that are going to be hanging on through Saturday. So we talked about those 2 Easter egg hunts. Best idea is to bundle the kids up with some light rain jackets. Nothing too significant looks to be falling from the sky, but good chance of seeing a shower or at least a period of drizzle. The good news is temperatures are going to be quite mild. 5, 6, 7, 8 degrees across most of Newfoundland. I think the Avalon back up towards the northeast coast, the best chance of 7 and 8 degree temperatures. We'll see temps falling, some wet snow mixing in along the west coast through the Straits and St. Anthony, bit of mixing there, and that snow does continue for you folks in Labrador. As we roll into the Sunday time period, that system departs, and Sunday, ahead of our next system for Sunday night, does look like a pretty nice day. Mix of sun and cloud for the Easter Bunny, 2 and 3 degrees, and Labrador, that snow slowly departing. As I mentioned, another system for Sunday night into Monday, and we'll talk more about that with your long-range details coming up in a few minutes. Debbie and Carolyn.
Thanks, Ryan. Well, right now in Quebec City and Montreal, a seal meat, or rather seal meat, is on the menu.
Yes, it's all part of the inaugural Seal Fest, where some of the best chefs around prepare seal in ways you've likely never imagined.
When you think about it, it's no different than a lamb or beef or you know, it's still a meat.
We have 13 participating restaurants, right? So we have 8 in Montreal and 5 more in Quebec City. So people can try very interesting dishes. Obviously, all the chefs did their own twist on cooking with seal.
For the Seal Fest, we have tataki seal with argousier, beer caramel, and some caviar mustard with some beets.
We're using as much as possible of the animal, so we're using the meat, obviously, the oil for omega-3 and the skin. It's really well managed by the DFO, the Department of Fisheries and Ocean. There's it's quota-based hunt. For example, there's about 8 million of seals right now, and the quota is 460,000 seals per year.
On the regular menu, you have carpaccio seal with roots, chips, and gastric of rye berries. This is on the regular menu.
If you take the seal steak, for example, you just have to sear it quickly. So sear it 2 minutes on 2-3 minutes on each side, and then let the meat rest so that the blood circulates in the meat. And you can add some seaweed. You can add some berry sauce or mushroom sauce.
So far, we see a lot of curiosity. And I guess by the end of the experience, 10 days from now, we'll be able to tell you what the numbers were.
Well, Seal Fest is running in Montreal and Quebec City until this Sunday.
Now, lots of people here enjoy a little more traditional meals of seal, although that looks pretty adventurous. Yes. We're going to have to wait a little longer to find out the dates from DFO for this year's seal harvest.
We don't want to have to go to, the asylum.
Why one advocate says it's important to shut down the Waterford. Welcome back to Here and Now. Now back to our top story. Today, the provincial government unveiled a new plan to replace the Waterford Hospital, a plan that involves building a new 94-bed facility attached to the Health Sciences Centre and partnering with community groups around the province to offer care outside the institutional setting. Well, today we spoke with Paula Corcoran-Jacobs about this new plan. She's the executive director of Channel, a group that offers help to people with mental illness and addictions, but she also has her own struggles with mental health.
I live with a chronic disorder. I'm going to be sick at some point. It's not about if I get sick again, it's about when I get sick again. I want to make sure the services are there for me. And so we have an opportunity to feed into that and inform what that should look like. And we're really looking at that notion of health is health. And so if I have a health issue, I'm going to the hospital and not having that segregation happening for people. When we look at the stats of people who are getting help and not getting help, about 68% of us will not look for help. And a large part of that is because of the stigma, because we don't want to have to go to, the asylum. Even as a child, it was often used as a threat of, be good or else, and those kinds of things. You would never walk past there alone and those kinds of things, because that was the stigma that was perpetuated. And to see someone like myself who didn't get help for 10 years, I was unwell for about 10 years and accomplished many different things during that time. But to know that I didn't get help in part because I was afraid to go to the Waterford about what people might think. And that terrifies me, because mental illness and addictions, it's a fatal disease. People die every single day. And if we don't do something to ensure people are getting the help, then people are going to continue to die. The research indicates that care in the community is paramount. That's where majority of people are getting the help. And so to see the huge infusion of support for community resources, community organizations, it's going to make a huge difference.
How will those community beds work?
So I do believe they're still in the research phase of seeing what is available. First and foremost, what do we actually need here in the province? What do we actually have here in the province? And then talking to community organizations about what that might look like. There's different models right across Canada, from transitional beds to acute beds to crisis beds. Peer-run organizations are doing some stuff, clinical-based organizations. So it's, at this point, I think it's very wide open, which is exciting for me.
Well, it is a military tribute steeped in heartbreak. A New Brunswick family has been awarded a second Military Silver Cross after losing 2 sons. Ron and Ryan Anderson were veterans of the war in Afghanistan. The brothers both later struggled with post-traumatic stress disorder and the return to civilian life. Harry Forrestal reports.
So what's this, Maureen?
This one is Ron's.
2 silver crosses in memory of 2 sons.
And this is Ryan's.
These are the medals no mother wants to receive, awarded to the loved ones of soldiers who have died from their military service. Most perish in battlefields far from home, but Maureen and Peter Anderson watched their sons slip away before their eyes, right here on Canadian soil.
Neither one of them were the same when they came back. But Ryan, I didn't think...
He died with Ronnie.
I think, yes. I think his life went at the same time.
Ron and Ryan Anderson were veterans of Afghanistan. In 2007, they both deployed as sergeants with H Company, the 2nd Battalion Royal Canadian Regiment. This was a shooting war, hot, savage, and unrelenting. Canadian troops were dying. 6 killed on Easter Sunday that year when their light armored vehicle hit an IED. One of the dead, a close friend of the brothers. Ryan Anderson was dispatched to the grisly scene. He'd later accompany the LAV carrying his friend's remains to a solemn ramp ceremony. A couple of weeks later, Ron Anderson was part of a convoy attacked by a suicide bomber, and just a day later, Ryan's own armored vehicle would strike an IED, leaving him uninjured but not unshaken. After their return from Afghanistan, both men were diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. Ron struggled with his treatment for years. In 2014, he shot himself in his garage. Ryan, 5 years younger, was devastated.
So I knew then it was going to hit poor Ryan. He just gave up. He lost his best friend, his brother.
Like his brother before him, Ryan struggled. He was withdrawn and depressed. The battery of medications prescribed by doctors, antidepressants, antipsychotics, anti-anxiety drugs, didn't seem to be helping. Sheldon Roberts served with both Anderson brothers in Afghanistan as a sniper. Dealing with his own PTSD, he could see his friend Ryan spiraling out of control.
So when Ronnie passed away, Ryan took that really hard, and he just kind of secluded himself. And then he wouldn't talk to you.
The clean-cut, spit-shined soldier had changed.
Oh, they put him in the psych ward for 2 weeks, I think. Yeah. And he said all he was doing was laying there. What's the point of that? I'm going home. And he left.
Then, last October, came the call the Andersons dreaded.
And he said, Ryan's here visiting me. I said, oh, that's good. You know, I was glad he was. He said, no, he's not breathing. Well, I just almost passed out.
Ryan Anderson's heart had stopped. He was 38 years old. A toxicology report revealed a cocktail of drugs in his system, besides his regular medications, cocaine, and the powerful illicit opioid carfentanil. Now, with both sons gone, Peter and Maureen's 6 grandchildren are fatherless. They don't know what the military or Veterans Affairs could have done differently to help Ron and Ryan. They only hope it will be better for the next generation of soldiers. Their eldest grandson already planning to enlist after high school. Do you think the military has learned enough over the past decade to be able to be in a better position to protect your grandson than they were in
I only
to
hope
protect
so,
your son?
because I really don't know. I just hope for the best.
Harry Forrestel, CBC News, Fredericton.
Such a heartbreaking story, and there is a Newfoundland connection to it.
Yeah, it was mentioned that Ron Anderson was especially affected by the death of his close friend when 6 Canadian soldiers were killed on Easter Sunday, and that was in 2007. Well, that close friend was Sergeant Donald Lucas from this province. He was 31 years old when he died.
And there's actually a street named after Donald Lucas in Paradise, and the library in the new Octagon Pond School in the community is named in his memory as well.
Well, here's a live shot of our camera atop the CBC building. You can see that, yeah, it's a little on the damp side out there again today. The snow is taking a cut and continues to do so, and more snow melt across the island this weekend. A little bit of snow tracking into Labrador. We'll have a weekend recap and a look ahead into next week after the break.
Let's meet our young athlete of the day. This is 5-year-old Callum Maloney from St. John's. Callum plays hockey in the initiation program with the Caps Minor Hockey Association.
He also plays T-ball with the Waterford Valley Softball Association and won the Most Spirited Award in his first year. He's a Sidney Crosby and Pittsburgh Penguins fan.
Nice. Congratulations, Callum, on being chosen as today's Young Athlete of the Day.
Isn't that great? Spirit Award.
Absolutely, I like that. And you know what, if you can't be a Leafs fan, Pittsburgh, not a bad team to pick, especially with all those cup wins and a couple of the best players in the world. Yeah. Yeah, congrats again, Callum. Weekend time,
yes.
And we've been talking about the systems tracking through, we have 3 over the next 5 days, so it is going to be active, but there's going to be some sunshine and some breaks in between and some chances to get outside, and temperature is actually not too bad over the next few days as well. Let's have a look at your satellite and radar setup. More than 50 millimeters of rain recorded on the Burin Peninsula and the Southern Avalon over the last 24 hours as that system has been tracking through today and moves its way out through tonight. Our next system is, again, building off to the south and west, and we'll move in at a pretty good clip, not just with some clouds and rain and some snow for Labrador, but we are talking about the warm-up as well. Temperatures on the rise, and we'll get into some high single digits once again as we talk about the weekend forecast and the weekend setup. Tomorrow morning, some lingering fog and drizzle and even some freezing drizzle potential for Central. So in the back of your mind for tomorrow morning, if you are hitting the roads early on in Central, be mindful that there could be some slick spots out there. Friday afternoon, high pressure in control for the island, some sun and cloud, and that snow building into Labrador for you folks. Could see some amounts, more than 10 centimeters here across Labrador, especially for the southeast from Happy Valley Goose Bay into the Straits. Some mixing, though, for Saturday morning, likely by Saturday morning for the Straits and especially across the northern peninsula. Some pretty steady showers possible for Friday night in through Saturday morning. I think Saturday as a whole, though, those heaviest showers will be offshore, and it's a chance of showers and lingering drizzle for the Sunday afternoon time period. And as we roll into the evening hours, then some gradual clearing in the east. So it's a clear out from west to east across the region for Saturday. Sunday morning for the Easter Bunny looking good. Any outdoor Easter egg hunts, if that's your thing, well then that's looking like a pretty good thing for Sunday morning into the afternoon. Another system builds in with some snow for you folks in Labrador City first and then into Happy Valley Goose Bay. By Sunday evening, it's starting to arrive along the west coast of the island. So any travel back to your house for Sunday night and into the Monday time period, keep in mind that this next system will work through. Sunday night looks like a little on the messy side. By Monday morning, I think we're changed to rain once again for eastern and central parts of Newfoundland, back to a bit of snow for western parts and some lingering flurries on the go for you folks in Labrador. Brief break for Tuesday, and then the active pattern continues as we roll into the Wednesday, Thursday time period. It looks like our next system will arrive later Wednesday and into Thursday. That one looks like it may have a little more in the way of snow with it, at least at this point for central and eastern parts of Newfoundland. I do think we'll eventually mix over, but keeping an eye on that one for sure for mid next week. So there's a look at your 7-day trend. And again, I think the picks of the weekend, certainly Friday and Sunday across the island. And as we take a look into the Wednesday, Thursday time period, there's that messy mix on the way. And for you folks in Labrador, we're talking about the cool down. Have a look at those temperatures in Lab West, certainly cooler than what they should be this time of year, riding the minus double-digit mark train right through a good portion of next week. Stay tuned for updates. All right, our viewer picture of the day. Ooh. Lots going on here. We've got the long range mountains.
That looks like the pyramids.
Yeah, it does. Those are the long range mountains, though. So there's your big clue. Not far from where we were last night, if you can remember where the location was.
That was Codroy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's as many clues as I'm giving out, though. The answer after the break.
Well, as tomorrow is Good Friday, there isn't a program, so we won't be here for the show.
Yeah, so that means we're going to bring you the usual Friday feature, a look at who's celebrating birthdays and anniversaries.
Happy 90th birthday greetings to Lydia Hiscock of Victoria, who celebrated March 25th. Happy birthday to Vivian Kendall of Twillingate, who celebrated her 96th birthday on Monday. Happy birthday to Esther Crocker of St. John's, celebrating her 95th birthday this Sunday, April 1st. Happy birthday to Dawn Burton of Fortune, who celebrated 92 years on Wednesday. Congratulations to Fraser and Betty Moss of Lethbridge, who celebrated 51 years of marriage Tuesday.
Happy 54th anniversary to John and Rita Piercy of Galtus, celebrating tomorrow. Happy anniversary to Robert and Florence Trowbridge of Port au Bras, who celebrated 51 years of marriage on Tuesday. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Samuel and Dorothy Leyte. Birthday greetings to Rita Fitzgerald of St. John's, who celebrated her 95th birthday on Tuesday. Happy 57th anniversary to Raymond and Loretta Reid from Humber Village, whose special day is on the 25th.
Happy 91st birthday on the 24th to Leamon Gale of Robinsons. Best wishes to Jessie Fudge of Herring Neck, who celebrated her 90th birthday on Tuesday the 27th. Happy 90th birthday also on the 27th to Anne Clarke of Frenchman's Cove, now in Marystown. Happy birthday to Ursula Chambers of Blue Cove on the Great Northern Peninsula, who will be celebrating her 92nd birthday tomorrow. And Leclerc celebrated his 90th birthday on the 27th. Best wishes to Robert Dawe.
Happy 93rd birthday to Harriett Saunders of Point Leamington. And a very special birthday coming up on April 15th. Clyde Pinn will be 102 years old. Mr. Pinn was born in New Chelsea and is now in Old Perlican. Happy 98th birthday to Rita O'Brien, who celebrated on Wednesday. She's in Fermuse. Happy birthday to Margaret Hussey of Paradise, who is going to be 96 years old, coming up on Tuesday, April 3rd. Here she is at her grandson's wedding last year. Congratulations to Gerald and Jessie White of Pasadena, who celebrated their 64th wedding anniversary on the 26th.
Congratulations to Albert and Dinah Coombs from Cornerbrook, who will celebrate their 51st wedding anniversary April 4th. Happy 60th anniversary to George and Nancy Hemion of Botwood, whose special day was yesterday. Anniversary greetings to Herbert and Mildred Park of Marguerite, who will celebrate 57 years on April 3rd. Wishing Jim and Glenda Bursey a happy 50th anniversary today. Happy 64th anniversary to Peter and Jenny Burry of St. John's. And a big happy birthday to Thelma Atkinson in the Bay Roberts area, formerly a resident of St. John's. She will be turning 103 on April 3rd, and she came to Newfoundland from England back in 1960.
Well, congratulations to everybody celebrating this week.
Another fine crew.
Absolutely.
Yes, and Debbie, you had a nice meeting today with a Here and Now viewer.
Yeah, it was fabulous. I'm still remembering it so well. It happened late morning. I had the pleasure of meeting Maureen Casey. She is an absolutely true Here and Now fan, she's true Newfoundlander too. She's going to be celebrating her 75th birthday next month. So her husband, Jim, and daughter, Edwina, helped me surprise Maureen earlier, and I dropped by her house just to have a look. She was so surprised to see me, she began to cry, and I began to cry.
Mom, every night, right, you introduce me to Debbie, right? You say, I have to introduce you, she'll go over and look, see where you went when you go off screen.
Oh God, she's gorgeous.
And now we got her introduced.
Yeah, she has a few problems with her memory, but she does remember me, and as Edwina said, she introduces me every night. So they're going to have their tea and coffee in our CBC mugs, and thank you so much for letting me come into your home, Maureen. It was lovely to meet you.
That's so nice.
Oh, she is lovely. And wouldn't you know, we know people in common. St. John's, well, this whole province is so small. We started chatting, and we did have people in common that we knew.
Nice.
So it was a lovely day.
Definitely something you won't forget anytime soon, and I
Absolutely.
certainly know she won't either. So that's so nice of you to get out like that.
Thanks for inviting me. I've run.
Okay, so quickly, viewer picture before we forget. Before the break, we showed you this beautiful picture of a rainbow, and I said it wasn't far from where we were last night. Last night we were in the Codroy, just up the road at Wreck House, and that is the famous Wreck House, and those long-range mountains off in the distance. And Lucille snapped this beautiful rainbow that appeared in that region this week. Great shot.
Fantastic.
Oh, really great. Just enough time to remind you of Tasty Tunes this weekend at the Delta. That's Saturday. Go online and check out all the details. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.